Lotus FM's lunch break on a Monday afternoon. Welcome to the show. My name is Varshan. KZN business owner and executive coach Shirley Pearson is my guest this afternoon. Shirley has, over several impactful years in business, navigated her way through all the usual challenges of building a business, balancing a large and boisterous family at the same time. Along the way, she gained some of her most valuable tools for coaching, and today shares her world-class expertise with others as the Action Coach. Now, I thought it would be a great idea to invite Shirley to the studio to chat about something that seems to have become a test for survival of businesses in KwaZulu-Natal. And she has the right kind of knowledge and advice to help businesses be more resilient and productive at the same time. So it's lovely to have Shirley Pearson with us in the studio this afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome. Your first radio interview.
Thank you so much, Vashni. That's very, very kind of you to have me.
So let us look at our recent past in KwaZulu-Natal, which had had us encounter several tragic incidents that have severely harmed the province's livelihood. And some of these include the riots in 2021, the natural disasters of 22. How have these incidents affected KZN's economy?
Yeah, so I think immediately we saw a lot of job losses. We saw businesses closing. Obviously, there was huge infrastructure damage and disruption to supply chains and networks. But perhaps the greatest impact, and to some extent the most long-lasting, is the investor confidence was knocked, and so was the consumer. It really impacted our psyche in KZN. Just, if you remember, we'd come out of COVID not long before that, and it just really felt like, the gods were against us at that particular point.
Well, surely you would have knowledge of this. Are there certain economic sectors that were more affected than others?
Yeah, most certainly. Retail and wholesale took a big knock. Manufacturing took a big knock. Obviously, on the back end, tourism and hospitality are going to feel it. Transport and logistics, because the infrastructure was so badly hit. So those were the sort of main areas that were impacted. And of course, government spend, because they bear the responsibility of re-establishing so much of that infrastructure.
And on the flip side, Shirley, what types of businesses or areas of the KwaZulu-Natal commercial sector have thrived as a result of the unfortunate incidents that we just mentioned?
Yeah, so we saw suddenly insurance became really important. The security industry became sort of fore of center because, people felt very threatened over the riots periods. We saw the increase in emergency services. I know I had clients that were involved in environmental re-establishment that had a lot of work that came out of it. I've had other clients that are involved in re-establishing things like signage on buildings, getting buildings back up and going from a construction point of view. These are some of the industries that have been, who had opportunities that came directly as a result of the riots and the floods.
And Shirley, I have to ask, according to an article that you recently wrote, you mentioned that a lot of KZN businesses have displayed grit and resilience amidst the adversity. So can you touch on some of the attributes that have worked for these businesses?
Yeah, so I think the attributes that work for a business to bring resilience is that the clarity of understanding of what you want to achieve in your business, backed by your plan to achieve that, brings about enormous resilience within the business, so that your goals remain the same, but your plans change as life throws its curved balls at you. So I think that's the first thing. I think the other one that was really important for people is that businesses that had put together what we call a war chest, so that had a good solid amount in savings, it just makes you strong as a business. It gives you that money to float you through the hard times and gives you the confidence to make the tough decisions. I think the other thing that is super important is that if you focus on the adversity, eventually what happens is all you can really see is the adversity. And when one actually looks at life through a little bit of a wider lens, to understand that life throws challenges and opportunities at one. And if one can stand back out of it and not get too emotionally sucked in, one can look and say, well, what are the opportunities that might be available to me within the situation? And how do I navigate and how do I make use of those opportunities, or how do I navigate outside of those? So I would say, a clear understanding of what you want to achieve, the opportunity then to move your action plan in order to deal with the adversities, and then a bit of cash always helps a lot.
So which economic sectors have been identified as showing great potential for growth in KwaZulu-Natal and despite the adversities?
Well, you see, here there's some danger that everyone wants to hone in on one thing. And really, at the end of the day, businesses exist to address challenges and needs. So the real question is, what are the needs that KZN has? And then what can you then offer up as a business within your skill sets and within what you have available to address those needs? So we obviously have a number of challenges around power supply. So there's huge opportunity within this area. Transport and logistics remains an ongoing challenge, right from the sort of port situation. So as those challenges come in, the opportunities arrive for private enterprise. And then, we do live in the country of tourism. Yeah. We live in a beautiful city. Durban is an immensely beautiful city and has so much to offer. And, I really believe that it's time that Durban takes its place as the economic hub of South Africa. I really believe that.
Oh, one day is one day, as they say. Well, I think for the sake of the listeners, as the action coach, how do you prepare business owners under your wing for some of these challenges?
So a lot of what we do with business owners is to ensure clarity of what is the dream, what are the goals, what is it that you really want to achieve in this business, and then to make sure that you have a very solid action plan in order to achieve that. And this is very dynamic. It's not a once-off exercise. So every quarter we are revisiting that. Where is your business? Where do you want your business be? What is that gap, and what needs to happen to close that gap? And obviously, as coaches, we're then making sure that you're doing what you need to be doing in your business to move your business forward. And then there are the solid principles of the war chest, good marketing, a good team, dynamic teams. How are you the best leader within your own organization, getting the productivity that you want out of your team? Some of those basics, we've got to make sure that our business owners are working on those things that'll work for their business to close the gap, so that they create a business that serves them, so that they create a business that actually provides the lifestyle for which they got into business in the first place.
And how can business owners, particularly in KwaZulu-Natal, or are you open throughout South Africa? Is it national reach?
Yeah, so we do have a national reach from coaching from ActionCOACH. We have a number of coaches in KZN. Right. So you can look up on websites for business coaching. You'll find us. We have a number of free events that we offer. We've got an event at the Pencil Club on the 17th, where business owners come for a nominal fee. They get about 300 business books, shared with you in a short period of time, so you leave with some great things that you can implement in your business straight away. And for selected business, we will even do free coaching sessions, so that we can keep contributing to the business community, but it gives us an opportunity to meet business owners who may be a fit for coaching as well.
Well, thank you for talking about businesses in KwaZulu-Natal, and great advice shared by you this afternoon, Shirley Pearson. Such a pleasure having you live on LotusFM this afternoon.
Thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate it.
1:22. You are listening to LotusFM. We'll have more music after this.
EFC is live this Thursday.